one another. And this year was the Georgia Bulldogs versus TCU Horned Frogs. And you know, I'm gonna delve into this real quick. I got something to say about this real quick, and here's I'm gonna break it down real quick because I got some reservations about this. College football, NCAA. I love watching the college football championship. The college football championship is one of the biggest games of the year. One of the best times of my life. One of the best times, one of the funnest times, during the year is when me and the boys would gather together at whoever's house and watch the big game. Right? The good old days. Watch the big game. And get us some pizza. We hanging out, some soda, watching Clemson versus Alabama, watching Deshaun Watson get tossed in the air like a helicopter down. I don't know if you guys remember that time. Now, I kid you not, I don't like Alabama. Everybody know that. If you know me, you know I don't like Alabama. Billy, me and him go at it all the time. For some reason, this man like Alabama. I don't like Alabama. I hate it. Hate is a strong word. I dislike Alabama very much. Nick Saban, the best college coach of all time. I'll give you that. But I don't roll with you, big dog. Nah, bro. I don't roll with you, bro. We ain't doing that. All right? I have been a big proponent of diversity, inclusion, parity, right? Because one thing about college football, I felt that it was too much of the politics. I felt, especially with the BCS, I hated the BCS with a passion. Because the BCS was always putting the same teams up in the top of the rankings year in and year out. Right? Alabama every year. Then the playoffs came. The 14 playoff came. Best thing they ever did. Right? It made Alabama have to work to get to the championship. Right? The 14 playoffs. It, caused teams like Clemson to get a fair shot and to win the championship. Right? An ACC team to win the championship. Right? Now, with that being said, even though the playoffs took over, Alabama was still making the championship literally almost every year. And I was one of those like, man, I'm tired of seeing Alabama in the championship every year. Let's get some new blood. Let's get some new teams in there, right? Did this year. Alabama didn't make it. I'm like, yes, that's what I like. Alabama didn't make it. Yeah, back-to-back champions. Congrats to Georgia Bulldogs for being back-to-back champions, right? So now this year I'm happy. The top 14 was Michigan, TCU, Ohio State, and Georgia. I'm like, yes, Alabama didn't make it. Finally, right? Now, Georgia versus Ohio State, one of the best games to ever to watch. Close game, right? Georgia won 42-41. They won by 1 point. Ohio State almost beat Georgia, but it was a knockout, drag-out fight. TCU versus Michigan. Michigan was supposed to win this game against TCU. Mm-hmm. Man, what is it? Harbaugh. Is it John Harbaugh or is it
John Harbaugh's in
Baltimore? What's the other Harbaugh? I'm gonna
I know it's one.
Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah,
Jim Harbaugh. You came to Michigan, man, and you did your job. You brought Michigan back to prominence. But this was your shot. This is, man, listen, you know when somebody has their shot, their opportunity, and they blew it. Jim Harbaugh and Michigan Wolverines blew it, man. You blew it. Because you were supposed to beat TCU, man. It was supposed to be Michigan versus the Georgia Bulldogs, man. Michigan should have played in that championship, and I guarantee Michigan would have had a better chance to beat Georgia in that championship game. Now, Jim Harbaugh, man, that was an opportunity that you lost. And now we ended up with TCU versus Georgia. So now we're like, all right. I'm still like, okay, good. Alabama's not there. Cool. This is going to be a good game. Finally, stuff like that. Bruh. We ended up with a blowout in the national championship game, 65-7. This is college football, man. Championship games are not supposed to be 65-7. See, this is the problem I have. Shouts out to Billy. He brought up about what we were talking about earlier. He was saying the name of the game is any given Sunday. Anybody can win the game regardless of the odds. Correct. You're right about that. I'll take that. But my thing is like this. Right? For somebody who is for or against Alabama being in the championship every year, or who are against Alabama being in the top 4 every year, who is for parity and whatnot, this is a step backwards, man. This proves the point to all the people that are for the Alabamas, the LSUs, the Georgias to be in the championship game every year.
Yes, because that was a blowout. And I feel like if it was Alabama, it wasn't going to be like that.
Exactly.
So Michigan, now, it wasn't going to be like that.
Now you done gave all those people who are for the same people being in the championship game every year, like Georgia, like Alabama. Now you gave them more ammunition in the next couple of years to bring it back to that type of culture with Alabama, Georgia, and all these SEC teams to get a extra nudge from the committee and everybody else, because guess what? The committee is not going to want to be put in this position again with a 65-7 blowout. This looks bad. From the committee, this looks bad. College football, this looks bad all around because that stadium was sold out. You had everybody watching the channel nationally. You had every sports bar packed, ready to watch a tight, contested championship game. And we ended up with a 65-7 blowout. The Horned Frogs, bro, you were who we counted on to show the national media, to show the people that vote this type of stuff that, yes, little brother has arrived, and you don't have to only put the Alabamas, the LSUs, and all these other Georgias and stuff. You don't have to only put them in the championship game. Yes, you can put us in the national championship game. You can put the Big 12. You can put the Pac-12. You can put the Big 10 in the national championship game. Now, next year coming up, if Alabama has 2 losses in the season, maybe even 3, now they're going to be like, you know what? But it's 3. It was 3 hard losses. They lost to 3 ranked teams, 3 teams that's in the top 15. Those losses are not that bad of losses. We can still put them in the top 4. You just opened up a can of worms, TCU. You didn't even have to win the game. You just had to stay competitive. And now that it ended up a 48-point win, you just opened up the floodgates, man, to have now all these SEC teams, the Alabamas, specifically Alabama, LSU, Georgia, they could be with 3 losses, and they could still possibly make the playoffs. Why is that? Because you're going to have the committee. There's going to be pressure coming down to them from the big dogs saying, listen, we are not going to end up with another 48, 50-point blowout in the national championship game again, man. So if you do put a team that's not in the SEC, that's not a powerhouse team in the Final 4, they better be a legitimate team, not frauds. So now, you just made a case for those people down in Alabama. You made the case for those people down in Georgia. You made the case for those people down in Louisiana, New Orleans. You just made a case for them, man. That, remember TCU? When they made the championship? Are you sure you want to put that type of team in the top 4? Because if they win and they end up in the championship game against the SEC team, you're gonna have another 48, 50-point blowout. You sure you want that? You sure you want that? Then next you know, the people in the committee gonna be like, you know what? Hey man, the last time we gave this team a team like this a chance in the playoff, to get to the national championship game, they got blew out 50 points. And we got eggs all on our face. Now, I'm pissed off. Why am I pissed off? Because the same thing that happened back in the day with the BCS, where every year it was an automatic Alabama and an automatic other team from down south, LSU or SEC, whatever team, Florida Gators, whatever, this and that. Now, we could potentially, with the playoff system, be back to a position where it turns political, where it favors certain teams getting into the playoff. Thank you, TCU. I'm not blaming you all. I mean, maybe I am blaming you, but you didn't even have to win the game, TCU. You didn't have to win the game. You just had to keep it competitive. You just had to give everybody a show. That's it. Okay. Y'all hanging with Georgia. Georgia's a good team, man. But hey, y'all hung in there. We can't even say that. You got blew out. I say we because I am the guy who is always preaching the parity. I'm the guy who always preaching, man, why is it always Alabama year in and year out? Why is it always Georgia year in and year out? Can we have different teams come in? Come on. Now, the floodgates is open because of this, man. And this pissed me off. Right? Congratulations to Georgia. They're a good team. But, man, Ohio State, man. I mean, come on. Ryan Day, where you at, bruh? Ohio State. You supposed to be a powerhouse. You supposed to one of these times make the championship, man. You gotta one of these teams, other conferences gotta eventually get above the hump and push through with these SEC teams, man. It can't be just SEC winning every year. And I'm one of them guys, man. I'm a UM fan. I'm with the ACC. I also rep the Pac-12, the Big 12. I also rep the Big 10. Why is that? Because I believe in inclusion. I believe in parity. That's why I love the NFL so much. Because any given Sunday in the NFL, the college, if you don't be careful, college can turn into some type of like political game, man. And it kind of drives me nuts a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And once again, congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs and back-to-back champions. But just one thing I will say. Next year, don't be surprised when you see LSU or Alabama or all those. Guess what? Don't be surprised when you barely see another team from another conference in the top four. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised to be an all SEC top four playoff. Don't be surprised because they're not going to want to bring up or have the NCAA provide a 50-point blowout again to the national media. They don't want that to happen again. This was bad. This is horrible. This was an embarrassment to be the final game of college football. It puts a little bit of a sour taste in everybody's mouth in a way. And now you have all these teams that are in SEC be like, see, I told you. Y'all kept talking about fairness, this and that. Bro, come on, man. Put the best teams in there, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. We're going to switch gears a little bit, man. I got something to say about, I'm worried about something, man. A lot of people, right, is talking about Lamar Jackson. Like, you know, first I was, you know how I know how I feel about Lamar Jackson. They should have gave him his money. He earned that money. Lamar Jackson is 48-17 as a starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. Right? Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens are 8-13 when he doesn't play. So if Lamar Jackson's 48-17 when he does play, and when he don't play, the Ravens are 8-13. That shows that he's a winner. He wins games when he's on the field. And he's dynamic when he's on the field. See, this is the one thing I have a problem. This is the thing I have about the problem I have with the NFL. You know he earns that. He earned that money. You know he deserved that money, but you're gonna try every bit possible to try to squeeze out when it comes to squeeze out amount of money that you can keep for yourself when it comes to the quarterback. And for some reason, I have a problem. The reason why I have a problem with it, I feel like this happens more to the black quarterbacks. I'm not trying to go black and white here. I'm not trying to go all racial here. That's not what I'm trying to do here. But for some reason, I see it happening more to the black quarterback. Can I name another quarterback that is dealing with a contract dispute recently? Recently, it's been African American. And I feel like, for some reason, certain prominent African American players, they have to go through hell and high water to get their money. What is up with that? What is up with that? You got the situation with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, wonderful talent. They gave him max attention. But you put in the contract that he needs to study. That he needs to study. Then you put it out there in the national media for everybody else to see that. And now, and I got something, and for me personally, the Arizona Cardinals, the organization did that on themselves. That season went that way because of what you guys did. You treated, even though he was, every player has their faults. If you're a great player, you're going to have an attitude. You're going to have a little bit of moxie. You're going to have a little bit of ego. That's how it always is. But with Kyler Murray, I felt like the way you guys treated that, you guys put stuff in I felt like stuff was being put in the media about him, and you could have easily shut it down, but you didn't. And it was just bad press all around with Kyler Murray. Then Kyler Murray come into the season, he's already pissed off at everything that happened. You could already see that he's not in a good mood. Then he doesn't play the way he should because him and the head coach going at it, got some type of beef. And now, season's over with, he get hurt. You guys end up 4-13. Come on, man. I feel like that was a microcosm of the offseason before the season even started with what happened with the Arizona Cardinals. Now you fired Cliff Kingsbury. Now you fired Jeff Time. Now you're looking for um now you're looking for a new head coach and a new general manager. Wow. This is as bad as could get with a franchise quarterback. But with Lamar Jackson, for 6 weeks, I said this last week, for 6 weeks, the head coach don't even know what's going on. He gets asked, he said he doesn't know, he's not sure or whatnot. He's not giving conclusive information about Lamar Jackson. Now people say, "Oh, he didn't get paid, so even though he probably can play, he's not gonna play." That's his right. I don't blame him. If he was doing that, that's something you started. You didn't want to give him a deal, but now, you know, there's reports coming out saying, "Oh, yesterday he didn't make the he didn't practice, so now he might potentially be out for for the playoffs." And and the story just came out on ESPN by Jamison Hensley saying Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson on Thursday night posted to social media that he won't play in Sunday night's wild card game at the Cincinnati Bengals, explaining that his left knee remains unstable and that his injury is more serious than originally believed. Jackson indicated on Twitter that he has suffered a PCL grade 2 sprain on the borderline of strain 3. There is still inflammation surrounding my knee. My knee remains unstable, Jackson wrote. I wish I could be out there with my guys more than anything, but I can't give 100% to myself, to my guys and fans. I'm still hopeful we have a chance. With Jackson out, the Ravens will start either Tyler Huntley or Anthony Brown against the Bengals. This marked the first time Jackson has addressed his injury since spraining his left knee on December 4th. The Ravens initially described his return as week to week, but he hasn't suited up for the past 39 days and as of last week was still walking with a limp. I'm still in good spirits as I continue with treatments on the road to recovery, Jackson wrote in his post. Jackson is finishing out the fifth-year option of his rookie contract. If the sides can't reach an extension by March, Baltimore would have to use the franchise tag to keep him and becoming an unrestricted free agent. The Ravens did get some good news regarding their quarterback situation, however, as Huntley, who has tendonitis in his right shoulder, resumed throwing on Thursday's practice. Huntley had not attempted a pass during the media viewing portion of the past four practices. He was officially as um listed as limited participant on Thursday, but it marked the first time since January 1 that he has been seen throwing passes. He looked good. Ravens offensive coordinator Greg Roman said it's day to day. He's making progress. We take stock on it every day. Baltimore's offense has suffered a steep decline with Jackson. In his 12 starts this season, Ravens averaged 23.1 points, was ranked ninth in the NFL. And 5 starts without them, Baltimore's averaged 13 points, but which is second fewest in the league. Obviously, Lamar's Lamar, linebacker Patrick Queen said. You can't replace that kind of guy, but I do still think we have quarterbacks who can go out there and get the job done and play at a high level. In the fourth start this season, Huntley has gone 2 for 2, throwing for 471 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. With the right shoulder issue, he has struggled to throw deep, completing just 3 passes that traveled at least 20 yards in the air, which ranks 27th in the NFL since week 14. So there you have it. Lamar Jackson says his knee is worse than first indicated and that he will not play. And, that is the risk that you take when you play without getting a deal. And but one thing about it, Lamar Jackson is a once in a lifetime, one of a kind talent, and and in my opinion, he's still gonna get it paid, but it's still gonna be a fight. It's still gonna be a fight. He don't have no agent, so he's doing this with his mom. And he probably gonna end up getting franchise tag. He will get franchise tag. But you gotta also remember these NFL organizations, man. You know, they they're gonna always try to get the upper hand. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kind of disrespectful to do this to Lamar Jackson. I understand that, you know, you want to get the best deal for the organization. But Lamar Jackson is not no scrub. Lamar Jackson is a former MVP. Lamar Jackson is a perennial Pro Bowl player, perennial all-pro quarterback. Lamar Jackson, once again, as a starter for the Baltimore Ravens, 48-17 as a starter. Lamar Jackson is a superstar. He's not like these other quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson's up there with Patrick Mahomes in them, man. The Kansas City Chiefs, with Patrick Mahomes, he's a running quarterback as well. They had no problem giving him a 10-year, $500 million contract. Who else? The Buffalo Bills. They don't have a problem paying Josh Allen his extension. Who else? Joe Burrow. They don't have a problem paying Joe Burrow his extension. Who else? Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins get a 3-year extension every couple of years. And he barely does anything in the playoffs. Even though Kirk Cousins, my dog, he will probably do something this year. But I'm just saying. Like, Matthew Stafford got an extension. Russell Wilson just ended with a $200 million contract, and he did nothing this year. Lamar Jackson's better than Russell Wilson. Lamar Jackson's better than Matthew Stafford. Right? I mean, why? Why is Baltimore Ravens giving Lamar Jackson such a hard time when it comes to his contract? I feel like this is disrespectful. And if I'm Lamar Jackson personally, I don't want to re-sign with you guys. So, but my thing is like, now you're in a situation where you got to be careful. Now you're going to hurt your PCL. And you might need surgery. That might affect you. Now that might affect your money. Now people who were saying that you should have held out for your money are looking like, see, look, now you got hurt. But then again, I said what I said was the first 4 years, he wasn't getting, if you go online, go check the salaries, bro, for his first 4 years. You got to understand, he got drafted like number 32 in overall, like 20, I'm not 30s overall, something like that, in the first round. You got to go look at the contract, man. The first 2, 3, 4 years of his contract, he was barely even hitting $3 million a year. His fifth year, it jumped up to 25 million, 24, 25 million. He never got paid a lot of money like that. For him to hold out on in the year that where his contract pretty much tripled 4 or 5 times what he normally would get, It wouldn't make sense for him to hold out. He had to play to get that money. And people don't see that. He was not getting paid that much. And a yearly salary, his first 4 years, man, he probably accumulated maybe $9 million in the first 4 years of his deal. Maybe $8 to $9 million. But in the fifth year, he was getting $25 million. It jumped up to $25 million. He had to play. He had to. So, granted, now he's hurt, but he got paid this year. He get franchise tag. Franchise tag is the top five. It's the average of the top five salaries in the NFL. So he's gonna get paid at least $30 million next year. So he went from 25 this year to 30 next year. That's $55 million in 2 years. Granted, they haven't given him that deal yet. But in 2 years you get $50 million? Come on, man. You gotta take that. You gotta get the bag, bro. And I wouldn't be surprised next year you got franchise tag, he go and play again. Because my thing is like, you gotta get the opportunity that's in front of you as well. Don't overlook the opportunity that's in front of you for something that's in the future. See if you could play it down the middle where you could recoup what you could get now and also make a play for the future as well. That's what he tried to do. He got hurt. It's unfortunate. But one thing about it, two things for sure, he got paid $25 million this year. And next year, if he get franchise tag, that's at least $30 million. So in 2 years, so the first 4 years of his career, he made a total of $9 million. The next two, he made 55. Come on, man. Make it make sense, bro. Lamar, I understand. If nobody else understands Lamar, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I understand. So now, we got 15 minutes. We down to the end of the close to the end of the show, man. And playoffs. Wild card round. We here. It's here. Playoffs is here, man. On Saturday, you got Seattle Seahawks versus the 49ers at 4:30. Shouts out to Fuegsy, man. Thank you for tuning in. And then you got Chargers against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Seattle, shouts out to Geno Smith, man. You got to understand, this man was a backup for 8 to 9 years, man, getting these backup checks. Russ Wilson goes to Denver. They decided to give him a shot, and he took the shot and ran with it, man. He said, man, they wrote me off, but I didn't write back. Shouts out to Geno for that, man. I love that. That was really good. But I got 49ers, man, taking this one, man. I got 49ers beating the Seahawks. Shouts out to Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy. He's the new franchise player of the 49ers, man. He's the new quarterback. They don't even got to sign Garoppolo. Right? Now, we have a tough decision as a Dolphins organization. We have a decision, a tough decision with that. With Tua, are they gonna bring him back or are they gonna, let him go? We're gonna see. Now, if we do let him go, there's quarterbacks out there. You got David Carr, you got Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo knows the system. He played with San Francisco or whatnot. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot to get into. We're gonna see in the offseason. But like I said, I got 49ers beating the Seahawks. Seahawks had a great season. Everybody thought they was gonna be a 3-4 win team. They ended up making the playoffs. Chargers versus Jacksonville Jaguars. This is the game right here, man. This is the game right here, man. This is it right here, man. You have the Chargers with Trevor Lawrence, and you got the Los Angeles Chargers with Justin Herbert. Two of the young best quarterbacks in the league right now. This is a tough one, man. I might have to just rock with Florida. I might have to just rock with Florida. But I'm okay with either team. But if I'm gonna have to go with if I'm gonna have to pick, then I don't know. That's a tough one, man. Charge. That's tough, man. Man, that's tough. I'm gonna have to go with Jacksonville, man. Duval. So after that, we got the Dolphins. Of course, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins, man. It's gonna be tough. Listen, if Mike McDaniel finds a way to game plan a win, one thing about Mike McDaniel, he's an offensive wizard, man. He really, really has a offensive mindset and the offensive creativity when it comes to Mike McDaniel's on a week-to-week basis is phenomenal. You can see the game planning. You can see the intuitiveness week in and week out with his offense. You can see the game plan. You can see the preparation week in and week out with Mike McDaniel. Now, I can't wait to see what he comes up with Skylar Thompson. I can't wait to see it. Then you got the New York Giants versus the Minnesota Vikings. I got Minnesota, man. I'm rocking with my boy. Man. I'm rocking with him. Kirk Cousins, it's time, man. It is time to show people what you're made of, man. It is time to shut the haters up, man. You get disrespected a lot, my boy. Kirk Cousins get disrespected a lot, man. What's up? What's with the disrespect? My dog get disrespected a lot, man. Them boys are 13-4, and nobody still don't believe him. I've never seen that before, man.
I feel like he gonna ball out, and that boy Jefferson gonna ball out.
Jefferson, boy.
Oh.
Jefferson.
That boy, he a monster, man. He a monster, man. He a monster. Oh,
Justin Jefferson, that man.
Yeah, he that man.
I want to do that dance right here.
Listen, I gotta drop that.
Man, son.
I gotta drop that for him, man. That boy's the truth, man.
Man.
He's the truth.
Justin Jefferson, man.
Yeah, he's the truth.
He be dancing all over the field, man. Hey, hey, yeah. And he does this new thing with the dance now, where he started dancing, then he hurt his hamstring and he starts walking with a limp, like, you know what I'm saying? He does it with so much swag. Shout out to Justin Jefferson, man. And after that, we got Sunday night, the Ravens versus the Bengals. They got the Bengals. Lamar Jackson just said he's out. But when he was out, Lamar Jackson went on Twitter and let people know that he out. He's out. He said that there's still inflammation surrounding my knee, and my knee remains unstable. Jackson wrote, "I wish I could be out there with my guys more than anything, but I can't give 100% of myself to my guys and my fans. I'm still hopeful we have a chance." He just put that out there just now.
I feel like if Hunter, that's the other
Huntley.
Yeah, Huntley. If he start, yeah,
he's hurt with his shoulder.
But I feel like if he come back, they got a chance.
We're gonna see.
They got the third string quarterback. Knowing that he's kind of decent, but without Jackson and what's his name?
Huntley.
I don't know. You're right. I think they're gonna lose that game.
And here, this is the game of the playoffs right here, man.
What game is that?
Cowboys versus Buccaneers.
Wait, Cowboys, Buccaneers.
Tom Brady versus Dak Prescott.
Dallas got that.
Dallas got that.
Dallas got that.
Tom Brady.
Dallas got
7 Super Bowls.
Dallas got that. They ain't playing the way to me. I ain't seen.
That's a Florida team. You going against the Florida team?
The only Florida team I'm going with is Dolphins. I don't care.
Oh, you're not going with the Jaguars against the Chargers?
If Dolphins lose, I'm going against Tom Brady. I will not go against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry, Tom Brady. I'm gonna have to go against you, kid. I'm gonna have to, because I just looking at, like I said, the Buccaneers.
Dallas just lost last week to a third-string quarterback. You know that, right?
You're right. But they got that offense. That offense is sick, man.
Listen, man. All I know, Dallas just lost to a third-string.
And their defense on point.
Dallas just lost to a third-string quarterback last week, man. That's bad. And you were trying to win that game.
Yeah, they're trying to get
the number one
AFC.
Yeah. You was trying to win that game. And you lost to a third-string quarterback named Sam Howell. That's bad. But here's the thing. Tom Brady. He had a rough year. Mm-hmm. Still made the playoffs. But he lived for the playoffs, man.
Oh, yeah, he do.
He lived for the playoffs.
He do, but
I wouldn't be surprised he beat Dallas Cowboys, man. And if he beat the Dallas Cowboys, this man right here.
I know they're going to be talking about Dallas Cowboys the whole week.
This man gave up his marriage for this game right here, man. This man divorced his wife to get back to the playoffs right here, man.
You think so?
Yes. His wife wanted him home. This man got a divorce. This man got a divorce because he wanted to continue to play this game and play in the playoffs, man. Listen, man. He wants this game, man. Now, granted, I don't know why they got a divorce. I'm just thinking. I think. I'm not saying that that's why, but from my perspective, I feel like maybe the wife wanted him home. I don't know. Right? Mm-hmm. And, but Dallas Cowboys, you got to win this game. Like, all jokes aside, Dallas Cowboys, you got to win this game. Supposedly, you are America's team. Supposedly, you are the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones. This is the only team where the game's over and Jerry and the owner has a press conference. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Mike McCarthy. If you lose this game, you're fired. I already know you're going to get fired. Why? Because Sean Payton's waiting in the wings. You have to win this game. People didn't even think you was going to make it through the season. They thought you was not. They thought you was going to. This team was not going to make the playoffs. They thought you were going to. You were supposedly in the hot seat. You did a good job. You ended up with a 12-win season. Now you got to win a playoff game, bro, to keep you. with you getting back-to-back 12-win seasons, you are still have a possibility. That's crazy. To have two 12-win seasons and still have the opportunity to lose your job. That's how high of a standard the Dallas Cowboys are, man. That's not no normal job. That's big boy stakes right there over there in Texas, man. So now, Dak Prescott, they paid you $40 million. You had trouble. He's another quarterback that had to fight for his contract. They didn't want to just give it to him. He had to fight and claw for his contract, just like Lamar Jackson is fighting and clawing for his contract. Right? He's another one. You got your money. You got your $40 million. Right? You got to show them, right, why you got paid that money. You have people saying that the backup quarterback is better than you because when he was out for 5 games, the backup quarterback went undefeated. You have to go to this game against the Buccaneers and beat Tom Brady to show people that you was right or you earned or you deserve that $40 million. And Mike McCarthy, you got to go in there and win that game to show these boys that y'all need to stop disrespecting me. I won a Super Bowl with Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. Stop treating me like I'm a bum and give me my respect as a head coach in the NFL. Mike McCarthy, you got to win this game to keep your job, man, and show these people that you ain't the man to play with. Same thing as Dak Prescott. This is the Deuce Sports Show. I thank you for tuning in. This is 2023. We're doing different things this year, man. See you next week. God bless.